What's up, man? It's your boy Roddy Rod. I'm back with another reaction video. In this reaction video, I'm going to be talking about why a lot of men, including myself, aren't approaching a lot of these women anymore. And for good reason. And the video that I'm going to be reacting to is from Dee on YouTube. It's titled Men Don't Approach Women Because They Are Tired of the Games. And she had some other stuff in there, I'll get into as I play the video. But for the most part, I just wanted to say a lot of men, they just have gotten away from the whole approaching women. We're realizing that a lot of women have a lot of options, and guys like myself, I don't want to be anybody's final option. I don't want you to be like, well, I didn't get this guy. So, I'll take you, and that doesn't make me feel good because if I accept that, then I feel like I'm accepting the bare minimum from you. And now you can treat me any kind of way. And that's unacceptable when it comes to me. And I won't be a part of that anymore.
I'm gonna stop talking. Let's get into the video. Here we go.
Let's say a guy, like, you're trying to pursue me, right? But I'm just like, no, oh no, and then you keep trying. The woman likes it because she feels like she's wanted. She feels special. So
some of them will even say, "Oh, I'm used to girls walking up to me."
Insane. But
What happened to
not
your
insane.
What happened to your natural instinct? Is that gone now? Are men just choosing not to walk up to women? Is that a thing?
No, it's not a lot of guys, we're just choosing not to do it because, like I said, they got options. Men, we would get back into the whole, going up to women and hollering at them, or trying to, quote unquote, get a number or whatever the case may be. But as far as this whole Me Too movement thing and women getting caught up in that, want to call guys creepy, some women even just being very unapproachable. You got a lot of guys that just don't even want to deal with the whole aspect of any of that. I don't want to be called a creep, because like I've said before, if they like you and you approach them, then it's cool. Even if they say, well, hey, I got a boyfriend or whatever. But if they don't like you and if they really don't like you, oh man, that's a whole nother world right there. Just off looks, if you don't look the part that they want, man, they'll call you all kind of names. They'll try to embarrass you and make you look as stupid as they can, especially if you're out in public. They want people to know that you've been rejected. They want people to know that you're a bum. That's what they want. They get a level of satisfaction out of that as well. And that's another issue that we have.
To my ladies, I need you to listen to me for a second. This is for you. Guys have no problem pursuing you. I promise you. It's in our nature to want to go after the woman that we want. But the reason why a lot of us men do not care to pursue women anymore is because we know in our hearts that we're in competition with so many other guys. And before you sit there and say, oh, what's wrong with a little bit of competition? These women know that. And instead of y'all going after the guy that y'all know is truly good for you, you'll sit there and let these men fight for you over and over again until the last one is standing.
Yeah, true. Men are just tired of their game.
Listen, in the last part, he said that men are just tired of their games. From the men that I hear from, they're saying the same things. They don't want to approach these women because these women, they know what the games that they're playing. They're familiar with the games and they don't want to deal with it. Some men don't want to deal with it. Some might. The part where the woman said, oh,
The ones that want to deal with it are the ones that typically just want to get the draws. They just want to hit and quit it. And women, and they know this. And as I also stated previously, the women who are very, very beautiful, very, very pretty, to me, y'all really got the upper hand because a lot of guys already like you just based off looks. And you could get the good guy very easily, I think. I think you could get the good guy very, very easily. But a lot of women, they choose not to. They choose to pick the bad guy, pick the guy who they know is trouble, and the good guy who is good for you, he may not look as good as the guy that you want, and he's actually on your level, but you think that you're so far above him that you can pick that guy and go after that guy. They say they want these very, very high class guys who have a lot of money and look good and all of this stuff, but those guys with a lot of money, for one, are going to have options. And with options, you most likely won't be a part of those options. So when you act that way, you get treated a certain way. So if you want to treat yourself like you're a high class individual and you only want those guys, that's how they're gonna treat you. In your head, you think that you're gonna be the queen or something, but they're like, nah, you just another option. You women like you come a dime a dozen. When you get a regular guy, he's gonna be there for you, he's gonna take care of you, and you can actually grow with him. And that guy will be something that you will probably grow to appreciate in the future. But since you have the upper hand, you kind of lose sight and focus of what you're really seeking.
that the women, they like the game. They like when they have several men fawning over them, or they have men like fighting for their attention. Women love attention. Let's just get that straight. Women love attention, and if they can get it, however they can get it, they're gonna get it. This is why social media is so big, in my opinion, and this is why people post random things, because for the attention. The attention is like a drug. It's very enticing, and it's very addictive. And so I think a lot of women love it. And so they'll say and do anything for that type of attention. They'll get it wherever they can get it from. It goes back to when you hear women say, oh, I have men in my DMs. Oh, best believe I don't have a problem getting a man, baby. They all in my DMs. Yes. And I think men know that. So the men in the DMs are just catering to that addiction. They're like,
Right. And I used to be one of these guys, just like a lot of guys out there. I used to, follow a lot of women, comment, I was always, I had women just coming down my timeline. The women from my city who I liked, who were pretty, just random women on the internet who I thought were pretty. And when you see some of these pages, you pay attention to the followers and who they're following. And man, the followers are so vast. And then you get to the people who they're following, it's very little, right? And then you have to think to yourself, it's just an ego thing for them. They don't really care. They're not going to respond to you. They're not going to respond to your comments. They're not going to respond to your DMs. And I was never a guy to comment. I was mostly a guy who just liked pictures. And if you just click on some of these likes or the comments, and you'll see it's the same people that's commenting over and over again. And it's really embarrassing. So for me, as of a couple of years ago, I've gotten away from the whole thing, just following all these random women and just people I didn't know. And it's like I guess it's a trend now, because I'm starting to hear about a lot of guys doing this. They're getting off the OnlyFans. I've never, been on OnlyFans. I've looked, but I've never purchased anything from OnlyFans. But it's a lot of guys that's getting away from all of these followers and women and things like that. On some of my platforms, I used to, especially like Twitter, I used to have, the porno women, the sexy women, all these type of women just coming down my timeline, to the point where I wasn't even getting information. It was just pictures, pictures, pictures. And once I deleted all that, I cleaned up my timeline. I don't see that stuff anymore. Every now and then I'll still see it. I'll be like, okay, I need to go and follow that person. I'm still following them. So I just unfollow them. And if I see a post from somebody that, I don't want to see, or just, that algorithms, a lot of these algorithms on these platforms, they'll just push through just pretty women, just a woman just taking a pretty photo, and it'll just come down your timeline. Me personally, I don't like you and I don't know you. I just hit those three dots and I'll say I'm not interested in this post. I don't even want to see your post. I mean, you look good. It's cool. But I don't want to see it anymore, because it's not doing anything for me. The older I've gotten, I really don't care for that. I need something that has more substance. And as just following you just to boost your ego and give you some type of recognition, it's not gonna come from me anymore.
okay, we know they like attention. Let's go ahead and say, Grand Rising Queen, how are you, Queen? And all of this stuff, because they know that they like it. And a lot of times these women just, eat that up. They get all that in their DMs. They don't respond a lot of times, but they see it, and they see all these men in there complimenting them and saying things, nice to them. It boosts their ego. It makes them feel like, yeah, I still got it. I got it. I got it. It boosts their ego. It makes them feel like they still got it, that they still can get the attention of men. And I think a lot of women don't realize that men are smarter than they think. A lot of these women really think that men are just stupid, and a lot of times these men are not.
That's another thing. Men are smarter than what a lot of women think. They kind of think that they're getting over on a lot of guys. But if you really think about it, a lot of men just want to get got because they just want to get some. You get what I'm saying? And That's just the facts of life.
Men just move differently from women. They'll sit back and they'll listen and pay attention and then they respond. They're not going to do a whole bunch of talking. You know, a lot of men don't do all this talking. They're just going to react to what they see and that's that. But see, women, we're vocal. We like to talk. We like to put our stuff out there. We like to have feelings and emotions and all of that. Most men don't do that. They'll peep game, see what's going on, decide, make a decision whether they want to entertain it or not. And some entertain it, and the ones who entertain it are the ones who go and get these women and end up sleeping with them, end up having these, you know, situationships with them, never committing to them, because that's not the goal. They never had the intention of committing to these women. This is just a part of the game.
And that's another thing. They do that, and then they eventually try to come back to those guys that they rejected, or you know, who they wanted to have last. And then they realize, like, damn, he doesn't want me anymore. And when it comes to that, in my opinion, it's like those guys, especially like me. Now you realize, like, no, if you want to be on my team, you're gonna sit at the end of the bench. Just like you wanted me to sit at the end of your bench, you're gonna sit at the end of my bench now, because you come with a lot of baggage. You got kids and all these different issues, bills is tight, and I'm not gonna do it. You know, either you're gonna sit at the end of the bench or I'm not gonna deal with you at all. So those are gonna be your options from now on. When you get to that point, after you done played all of those games, that's what it's gonna be for you.
While others will sit back and just ignore it and don't participate. But there are some men who participate. This is why you have women complaining about men who ghost them and who don't take them seriously, because you don't take yourself seriously. And a lot of women think that because a man responds that he's really into them, and he's really not. He's just going to respond to what he knows you want, and then he's going to use whatever skills he have to reel you right on into his plan. And his plan is just to get what he want out of you, and that's it. And a lot of these women fall for it, even though they have this intuition, even though they have this, third eye where they can see things and they know this and know that.
That intuition is something else, ain't it? That intuition, they can't see the good guy. They can't see the guy that's worth something until it's too late. The intuition always takes them in the wrong direction. It always takes them to the bad guy, to the guy who already has kids, to the guy who's got, plenty of different options. That's the guy that they really want. But the other guy that they should have really been paying a lot of attention to, they just kind of let it go away. And then they have regrets. And, like I always say, they come back, and when these guys don't want them, they say, oh, he's gay, he's lame. They start calling you names, because now that they're bitter, now that they realize, like, you're kind of used up at this point, now you want that guy and he doesn't want you. Now you want to do right. But like I say, you're going to sit at the end of that bench.
But they never know or see when a man is playing them or looking to take advantage of them. You never see that coming. You never know that. You somehow it don't work when it comes to that. But this is what women misconstrue. You think, because a man show you attention and do all these things and tell you all this stuff, that he wants you, and he doesn't. Having men in your DMs does not equate to a man taking you seriously and wanting to marry you and really want to be with you. And that's what women have to realize. And I think they're realizing. They seem shocked and confused. Like, what? Right. Saying all this, but he's not really trying to take you seriously. And it's the same way women like the attention from a bunch of dudes, but you really don't have no interest in none of those guys in some of these cases. A lot of the attractive women who get all this attention, they are not even interested in a lot of guys who are in their DMs. They just like the attention. This is why they say, they leave you on red, because they don't respond. They see your comments. They see it, but they just don't say anything because they want you to continue to.
And another part that I kind of missed out, what I meant to say a couple of minutes ago, was that they love this rejection factor, where they either leave you on red, or they don't respond, or or they get mad when guys don't approach them. And now you're seeing the opposite effect. Now that men aren't approaching, now they feel a certain way about it. You know what I'm saying? They don't like rejection. They don't like any of the same things that they did to men. They don't want that to happen to them. Some women will even lose their minds if they try to speak to a guy and he's not interested. They will lose it, bro. If you don't like them, they will lose it, and they will call you names and do all of these things. And if they got something on you, they'll try to expose it. Just like I meant to say earlier also, those guys get in those DMs, those guys that they really don't like, you'll see them. They'll expose the DMs, and then you'll read them, and the guy's only saying like, hello, hello, hello. He may be annoying, but he's really not saying anything out of bounds. They just want to, it's just another ego boost for them to know that, this guy can't get me. And now I'm going to put this out there and really expose me and make him look even more stupid so that I can get even more attention off of this.
Make it look as if like you're running behind them, like you're just running behind them, and they're just running the opposite way because they like the attention. This is why if you stop doing it, then they'll reach out to you to try to figure out why you're not giving me the attention anymore. This is the part that the men have to take responsibility for and understand that a lot of these women are playing games, and either you're gonna learn how to play the game or just remove yourself completely, which a lot of them have done. But also understand the nature of women. This is why I think it's important for women like myself and others. Why it's important for us to give the perspective from a woman, because women know the nature of other women. And for far too long, men were not privy to that, or they didn't understand it. I've heard so many men say, oh, I thought women were perfect. They could do no wrong. And there are still some men who think that, but we're here to tell you, no, that is not the case. Women are very conniving. Oh, they can do wrong
Very
if they
much
want
so.
to. Back to the point of what.
And that's going to be the end of my video. That's pretty much all I have for this video. Give me your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about some of the things that I said. Maybe you agree or disagree. And also, if you could follow me on Twitter, I'm on Twitter at DJ Roddy. I eventually changed my name to Roddy Rod Show over there. I used to be a DJ. You can also follow me on Rumble at The Real Roddy Rod. And if you're watching this video, make sure you like this video. Make sure that you share this video if you can to another platform or to maybe a Facebook or something like that. You can post it there. I don't have a problem with that. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel also. I would also appreciate that. And if you can, make some comments here as well. And man, next time I'll see y'all. Peace.
Might see me, nigga, with a rack or two. And if I had to bring them choppers, they gon' blast.